Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, the beginning of an exclusive two-part interview with one of the biggest figures in the state. Ray Hagar has the rundown.
Thanks, Sam. Today's guest is the Big O, Oscar Goodman, the mayor of Las Vegas. He's called himself the happiest mayor in the universe. If he becomes governor, could he be the happiest governor in the U.S., especially when he has to give up gin for his moonshine in Carson City?
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Fred Hillerby, Howard Rosenberg, and Marlene Lockard. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Corporations moving to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center require reliable power, fiber optic communication, and clean water sources. And yet, there's another amenity we're very proud of here at TRI, rail service. So far, we've built over 2 miles of railroad track, and another 3.6 is under construction. When companies need to transport freight, we're going to help them move it quickly and efficiently. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The resort at Red Hawk offers you 2 great dining choices. Experience David's Grill and Sports Bar or the Steakhouse at Red Hawk. The Steakhouse has received the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence based on a diverse selection of fine wines. To accompany the wines, the Steakhouse serves certified Angus beef steaks in a variety of cuts, fresh fish, chicken, and pasta dishes. For fun and casual dining, come to David's Grill and Sports Bar. David's is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The resort at Red Hawk. Always the right choice.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%. Lobby for your interests and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, it's a great pleasure to finally be in the company of Oscar Goodman, the happiest mayor in the world. It's a pleasure to be here.
In the universe, Sam.
The universe.
Right. I've gotten happier as time goes by.
All right, let's start out with the governor's race. Are you in?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not? Categorically?
Well, let's put it this way. I'm told never to say no by people who are smarter than myself, and right now I love being the mayor of Las Vegas. If the occasion arose where it's the right thing to do, certainly I'm going to think about it, but right now I'm really delighted in being the mayor of Las Vegas.
Okay, so then let's throw out some names and see your response.
Okay.
Okay, Dina Titus.
Nice lady. Bright lady.
Can she be governor?
Can she be? Does that mean can she win?
Mm-hmm.
I think with today's polls, she has a shot.
Okay. Jim Gibson.
Good guy, very conservative. I serve on a lot of committees with Jim, Convention Authority and the like, and he's very steady.
Okay. And again, can he beat Dina Titus in the primary?
You never know. It's a funny state. It's a state that really looks at the individual. I really don't put that much credence into what party somebody belongs to, whether they're right or whether they're left. I think people in Nevada look at a potential candidate and they say, is this the real McCoy? Is this guy legit? Or is this woman telling the truth? Is she going to be able to help us, make us a better state? That's all the voter wants.
But you know, the polls keep coming back to you and saying that if you jump in, that you would have a very good chance of winning.
That's what the polls say. But as I said, I have not filed. I haven't declared myself as a candidate. I'm very happy where I am right now at this time in my life. I'm able to do certain things in Las Vegas that really had to be done. When I came on board about 6 years ago, I thought that the city of Las Vegas was going to suffer the near-death experience that Reno was about to suffer before people stepped in and did the right thing up there. And I've really spent an awful lot of time and energy to make downtown Las Vegas something special, so it would not have any kind of negativity as far as the rest of the community is concerned.
All right, I want to come back to redevelopment in a couple of minutes here, but let's go through some more names. Lorraine Hunt.
A very nice lady. We had a beautiful affair a couple of nights ago where Lean Renault, who was a wonderful entertainer here, a Parisian, used to be at the Dunes before it was imploded, was given a star. We have like a walk of stars, and Lieutenant Governor was there, and she was lovely.
Do you think that she's underestimated?
Look, she was a county commissioner here for years. She's been active as far as her work in business development is concerned. She's an attractive, well-spoken person. I don't know. I never underestimated anybody, and I've run in 2 races in my life because I'm not a politician by profession. I'm a criminal defense lawyer by profession, and I chose to do this 6 years ago. I've never mentioned an opponent in any of my races because I think that's irrelevant. I think the only thing that's important is what I'm about. And so I only have nice things to say about people. I'll never say anything bad about an opponent or about somebody that you're asking me.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can prod you. Bob Beers.
That was with Bob the other day at the Rotary, and I think he is a very committed person as far as his beliefs on taxes. I don't necessarily agree with him. I don't like Proposition 13s. I don't like Tabors. I think that it would have an effect on local government that would be devastating. For the city of Las Vegas, we would lose $80 million if a Prop 13 or a Tabor went in, and we wouldn't be able to provide the services that we provide. And the same thing would be true up in Reno, I'm sure, and probably in the cows with the small towns, talking to the mayors there, it would be devastating. So Bob's a good guy. I don't necessarily agree with his political philosophy.
All right, Jim Gibbons. I mean, there is so much fear in the other quarters about Jim Gibbons. Do you think Jim Gibbons would make a good governor?
You know, I had only one experience other than seeing him at parades with the congressman. I was back in Washington, D.C. I was asked by the Conference of Mayors to go on the Wolf Blitzer show, and I had just come from Congressman Gibbons' office, and he had advised me as to a certain amount of money that the state of Nevada apparently got and lost on Homeland Security funds. And I made that statement, and I was blasted. I mean, I got hit by everybody. Where did the mayor come up with this? Is he making this up? Where did it come from? And I expected the congressman's office to step up. They didn't for days, and that disappointed me. But as far as the gentleman himself, he seems to be pleasant enough.
So you don't have any great fear that if you were elected governor, that there'd be a problem for you?
For me?
Well,
I don't have a problem with anybody. With me, I come from a background
city.
that I never had a problem with anybody. I used to, fight with the FBI every day, so I had no problems.
No, but I mean for the city.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think anything that radical would take place. The governor should be the captain of the ship, should be the person who has the laboring oar, but you have to work with the 63 legislators. It's a symbiotic relationship. I don't know whether anybody is as good as getting consensus as perhaps I am. I've been very lucky with my council up here, always able to get the votes to carry the day. But no one's going to do anything that's going to upset the state.
So you would disagree with Jim Rogers, who owns the TV stations upon which this program airs, and Governor Gwynn, who seem to be very much against?
Well, I think they all have their personal reasons, perhaps. As I said, I'm not against anybody. If I ever threw my hat into the race and Congressman Gibbons is debating me, I would debate the issues, and I wouldn't call them names, and I wouldn't say he's going to be bad for the state, anything like that. I would stand on my own merits.
Okay, let's come back and talk about the issues. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers with Mayor Goodman right after this.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
Since its creation more than a decade ago, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has focused on 3 goals: preserving water quality, improving water conservation in Southern Nevada, and meeting the community's current and future water needs. Through thoughtful planning, responsible management, and collaboration, it's succeeding. As we move into the 21st century, the authority continues to embrace sustainable water development and efficient water use. That's our promise to Nevada.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seemed to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? They do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
Many of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're talking with Mayor Oscar Goodman, the happiest mayor in the universe, he now tells me.
That is true.
Okay, what are the big issues, in your opinion, for the upcoming gubernatorial race for the state?
You know, I haven't given it that much thought because at this point in time, I'm not a declared candidate and I'm more worried about local issues, but I think they spill over on one another. We have tremendous problems as far as our education is concerned. I don't care what anybody says. It's almost, you have to start from the bottom and build it up rather than trying to fix what's there right now. And I have a lot of respect for the school district, but I think teachers have to get more money. And, you know, these are unpopular things when you say more money because that means it has to come from somebody, and it's the taxpayers who provide for this. But I think education is vitally important. I think that mental health is unbelievably important. Here in Las Vegas, we have about 3,500, and that may be low, folks running around the city who should be in a mental institution. And we have like 50 beds that we're arguing about at the city council next week as to whether or not we're going to provide 50 beds for 3,500 people. That has to be addressed. And I think administrations in the past, and not necessarily the state, but federally, have really forgotten about these people. And they can be helped. You get them on medication, you transition them back into society, you can make them into useful citizens. But as it stands now, it's a disaster. And of course, the prisons are bursting at the seams. That has to be addressed. I believe in a lot of alternative programs, and I also believe in perhaps a little bit of corporal punishment, too, going back to the days of yore, where examples have to be shown, where we have a situation down here with graffiti. And just the other day, I said, you know, we may need to be thumbing.
You want to explain this?
Well, you know, in the old days in France, they had beheadings of people who committed heinous crimes. Well, here we got a beautiful highway landscaping redevelopment in our downtown. We have desert tortoises and beautiful paintings of flora and fauna. And these punks come along and they deface it. And I'm saying that maybe you put them on TV and cut off a thumb. That may be the right thing to do.
I was going to ask you your specifics on corporal punishment. I was thinking maybe a whipping or a caning. But
maybe a whipping or a caning. That may be
are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I mean, the parents are supposed to take care of their children, and government is in loco parentis. We take the place of a parent on occasion, and some of these people don't learn. You got to teach them a lesson. So, and this is from a criminal defense lawyer.
So we'd be more like Saudi Arabia then?
No, not like Saudi Arabia. They get a trial first.
Okay, let's go back to education for a moment here. What specifically would you want to see? I mean, you know, we've got the opportunity right now.
I'd like to see the kids get, you know, good grades. I'd like not to be last or next to last as far as testing is concerned.
But what about the superintendent? There were ideas that we need to get a superstar in here.
Right.
Carlos Garcia just recently said.
My wife, many years ago, founded the first nonprofit, non-sectarian private school with others. Here in Las Vegas. It's been a model of It's just unbelievable. Without any government funds, she's been able to take a piece of desert, raw desert, and make it from beginning school, which is a pre-kindergarten, all the way through 12th. She's getting her children into Harvards and Princetons and UCLAs and USCs and Stanfords and Dukes. And not one person from the school district ever went out and wanted to find out what she's doing there. So I don't know whether you need a superstar. There may be somebody right here, homegrown, who's able to do the job.
Well, and we've also seen with the Andrea Agassi School that remarkable things have been accomplished.
Remarkable things, but they've had their problems over there, too.
Would love to have your wife come on the program, by the way, and talk about these things.
She's a saint.
Okay, so bottom line is you're not sure that we need to bring somebody in from outside, that there are people within the community that we can elevate. Because to be honest with you, I believe in that too.
I really do. I mean, we're not a backward state anymore. I mean, this is we have a lot of people who moved here, who are very educated, who bring with them great ideas, and we should be culling them out rather than trying to get somebody from Podunk who had a school district there that we're bringing out here. Las Vegas is a very unusual place, and I'm sure Nevada is different than any other place because of the kind of demographic that we have here. It's a 24-hour state. Everybody is working 24 hours. A lot of parents aren't at home. We have immigration issues where folks are coming in who don't speak English, and the children don't hear English until they go to school. We have teachers who don't speak Spanish and other languages who are trying to teach them. These are things that have to be addressed.
Okay, we're going to take a break here, and this was supposed to be the end of the interview, but I want to come back and we're going to hold you over for another day, if that's okay.
That's fine.
All right, we'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this. More with Mayor Goodman coming up tomorrow.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. Just 10 minutes east of Sparks. We're proud that Walmart and other Fortune 500 companies have chosen Tahoe Reno Industrial Center to relocate their businesses. We have sites from under 5 acres to well over 500 acres, and with all of the amenities that every successful corporation requires. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, and we're building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The Nevada Beer Wholesalers encourages the responsible consumption of beer. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association are sponsors and participants in many community-based efforts such as school education programs, Safe Ride Home, recycling programs, alcohol-free after-prom and graduation parties, safe boating campaigns, and designated driver programs. They are family-owned businesses employing 2,000 Nevadans. They also collect and pay the state excise tax. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association, delivering more than just beer.
Northern Nevada is on a roll, attaining top national rankings as a great place to live and do business. How does the region stay on top? The 21st Annual Governor's Industry Appreciation Awards will feature Joel Kotkin, the internationally recognized author who wrote Inc. magazine's story named Reno the best place to do business in America in 2005. Join us November 8th at the Reno Hilton. For tickets, visit www.eaton.org or call 829-3700.
The Resort at Red Hawk offers you 2 great dining choices. Experience David's Grill and Sports Bar or the Steakhouse at Red Hawk. The Steakhouse has received the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence based on a diverse selection of fine wines. To accompany the wines, the Steakhouse serves certified Angus beef steaks in a variety of cuts, fresh fish, chicken, and pasta dishes. For fun and casual dining, come to David's Grill and Sports Bar. David's is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Resort at Red Hawk. Always the right choice.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And we have an all-star pundit panel today, as always. Fred Hillerby is here. Also Marlene Lockard with Capital Strategies, and Howard Rosenberg, who is a regent with the Nevada System of Higher Education. You heard Mayor Goodman's interview here, the first half of it. I think that taggers need to be very concerned about the future of their thumbs, don't you? What do you think, Fred?
You know, you've always got to enjoy Oscar. Oscar's a very entertaining man. I think he's been a good mayor for Las Vegas. He does things for shock value, and surely the discussion of thumbing was a little shocking.
Marlene?
He's always quotable.
Okay, Howard?
I think he ought to use his head for something beside a hat rack. You don't make statements like that unless you really intend to carry them out. Now, tagging is a bad problem. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. But amputating someone's thumb isn't going to solve the problem. They'll use this finger for it, believe me.
You want the last word on this particular part?
You know, he said he was serious, but he's really not serious. How could anyone be serious about that unless you were in Iran or Iraq?
But you know something, perhaps not serious, but in the back of people's mind, they look at this graffiti, beautiful wall has gone up, they've taken the trouble to make it look good, and suddenly, boom, it's destroyed. And so I'm not so sure that on a populist basis that he doesn't have a good point. Okay, Marlene, to you. I am not a declared candidate. He said several times that he's the happiest mayor, but he really left himself a lot of openings to be in the race.
Dina has said consistently we would welcome any and all to get into the race if that's their desire. I believe the mayor when he says he's the happiest mayor and he wants to stay as mayor. And there are many of those that think that's the place where he's most effective. But, it's a democratic process, and anyone that wants to get in is welcome to get in, obviously.
Jump in, Ray.
Well, yeah, I think Oscar Goodman is infatuated with the idea of running for governor because people would kiss his fanny and be nice to him and everything. But when he gets into if he won, could you imagine him going through a budget? I can't. Could you imagine him living in Podunk, Carson City?
Now, hang on a second here. Well, first of all, let's back off Carson City.
Yeah.
It's a very nice town.
Boringest town in the United States.
Ray,
what is this? How to make friends and influence people?
Really, you're asking to be
Mark Twain left Carson City to move to a tent outside of Virginia City in the last century. That just tells me how boring.
Let's knock it off and get back to the issues here. I mean, he's a criminal defense attorney. This is a very bright man. I mean, he has fought the government for many, many years. I think it's foolish to think that if he took on the job of governor, that he wouldn't take it seriously and that he doesn't have the brain power to handle the job. Of course he does.
Not the brain power. I just don't think he's...
Absolutely, and I would just caution Ray that I wouldn't be thumbing my nose at the mayor.
The mayor. Oh, the mayor. I thought you were mayor of Carson City. But
no, the mayor of Las Vegas.
I don't mean,
You're pretty
I'm not
slow,
thumbing
Ray.
my nose at Oscar Goodman. I just don't think he would like to be governor.
No, I think Oscar was not serious about the amputation, but I think he was serious about the frustration people feel with tagging, like Howard said earlier. I wouldn't say that he would be a bad governor. Might be a very good governor, but I agree that I think he's where he wants to be right now and going through the rigors of a race. And although it's not till, 12 months from now, the general election, the primaries in August this time around, that's not that far away, and it's a little late to be talking about getting into a race where you've got people that are pretty geared up and down the road.
I don't know. To me, some of his answers sounded to me like he's already forming positions. More money for teachers, Howard? Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, very definitely, because we need to get the best and the brightest into the public schools. And he said something else that I thought was really sort of interesting. The whole spectrum is tough to deal with. Maybe what we need to do is focus on K1 and 2. Not let the other kids, be lost or anything, but start the new stuff, the things that we need to do to get kids where they need to be. Maybe that's where we need to do it.
That's already been done. The focus is on grades 1, 2, and 3 already, and the results from that have not. They haven't shown that that's the best way to go.
But the focus has been classroom size reduction.
Exactly.
It hasn't been innovation.
And it's also been in reading, to get these kids coached up to where they're reading at grade level, reading in classroom size.
That's a fallacy. Listen carefully. This at grade level, who decides? Think about it. Think about it very carefully.
Who does?
Because what you need to do is the mechanics of reading and then the comprehension of reading sometimes are mutually exclusive. And that's where I'm having the problems with my students when they come to me at the university. They can read. The mechanics are fine. It's comprehending what they're reading and retaining it. There's more to it than just phonics, sounding out the word, whatever the system is. You need to be able to hold on to what you're reading. You need to be able to hold on to what you're listening to. That's where some of our kids have the biggest problem. And it isn't attention deficit or anything like that. It's a skill that needs to be learned like anything else. I'm not sure. If I knew how to fix it, why would I be sitting here talking to you? I'd be going out there and doing it. Oh, yeah, hello.
Let me change topics here just because I want to get this in. Last Friday, Fred, Scooter Libby was indicted. Then by Monday, we've got the Supreme Court nomination. Now we've got the avian flu. and then suddenly Senator Reid just blows everybody's mind in the Senate with, admittedly, a stunt, but it certainly got everybody's attention back to Scooter Libby and what's been going on.
Was that a question, Tim?
It was actually a rendering of all the things that were going on. But I mean, don't you find that it's that Senator Reid has done an appropriate thing, which is bringing people's attention back to where it should be?
There's so many things to be paying attention to right now, Sam. I'm not sure. I mean, I think clearly people are more and more concerned about the war in Iraq, and I just don't know how much energy ought to be spent on why we're there as opposed to how do we get out of there.
Marlene?
I think that's a good point, but I do think that there was a commitment made for an investigation to determine if any of the initial intelligence was misused or altered to shape a conclusion with Congress to support going to war. And that has been lost in the shuffle as we've moved on. And I think if Harry Reid had not done what he did, it would have continued to be delayed. And I think that's important to get some answers there.
And that wasn't a play on words with delayed, right? We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. For a quick bite and the best sandwiches in town, it's the Whistle Stop Deli. And for the best appetizers and menu selections and a large variety of cocktails, beers, and martinis, it's Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
You bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they've saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
Happy Hour at the Peppermill.
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org. The National Mining Association.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers online at nevadanewsmakers.com.
Tomorrow we got more of Oscar Goodman. Watch your thumbs, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.